There are legends out there, on forums, on the dark edges of the internet. But I've got concrete proof of a zombie YouTube channel. So I'm talking about Caliban Rising, which is one of the YouTube channels that I try and run. And up until about a month ago, I thought it was completely dead and buried. Then suddenly something started happening around the middle of August, and I knew that I had to test out to see if finally one of my YouTube channels was going to take off. So since the beginning of September, I've put out 2 videos, and this channel's just gone crazy. And you can see from a sort of a baseline of around June of 32 views a day, just a few days ago, it got over 8,000 views. I haven't published on this channel for over 5 months. So what the hell is happening? So just to give you kind of an overview of what this channel is about, I started it back in November 2020, and it was very much in the gaming niche, but it's all to do with aviation. So I basically have a lot of these combat flight simulators, bit of a geek, and I just did videos about the gameplay in that. And I started off in November doing a short every single day. I was trying to ride that YouTube Shorts kind of trend that had just started back then. And pretty much within a month, I'd smashed through that minimum of 1,000 subs to get monetized. But as we now know, YouTube Shorts doesn't count towards your watch time. So at that point, I tried to switch to the longer form content, and it didn't really do as well as the shorts. So during the first kind of 2 months of the channel, it got 186,000 views. And to be honest, that was the most I'd ever got in my life on YouTube. But by about March 2021, everyone else had found out about YouTube Shorts, and it just wasn't as successful as it was previously. So the channel kind of like died, and it was getting sort of, around 15 to 30 views per month. So I stopped putting content on the channel around May 2021, and I put up a couple of videos again around September 2021, but not really much. And then around December, I tried to pivot the channel a little bit. So there's another YouTuber that I've kind of followed in the space. He's now called TJ History, and he pretty much did exactly what I was trying to do. He started off in the gaming niche with the flight simulators. Then he switched to doing what I'm trying to do now, which is more history-based videos, but using gameplay to sort of make it interesting, entertaining, I suppose. So for about 4 months between December 2021 and March 2022, I put out quite a few videos, about 1 a week, and it was all to do with this long form history content. But to be honest, it was really, really time consuming to produce. I had to write the scripts, I had to read the scripts, I had to play all the games to get the footage, I had to edit all the footage down to like 10-20 minute videos, and it was a massive, massive undertaking. And to be honest, by March, I felt like all the effort I was putting in wasn't really paying off. So I dropped it for other projects. But because I'm always checking my stats, I did notice this sudden spike in views in August. And it might not sound like much, but when it goes from, sort of 30 views-ish up to nearly 300 views, you're going to sit up and pay attention. So that's when I put up this video, which is all to do with 5 things you probably don't know about the Supermarine Spitfire, which is a pretty famous British aircraft from World War II. And it's saying here that it's got 15,000 views. But if I actually look at the what I think is more up-to-date information on the main content page here, it's got 19,000 views. And I put that up 10 days ago. That's insane for this channel when you consider, like, for example, this video, which I put up in February, got 81 views. What the hell is happening? So since then, I've put up another video. This one was all about the Red Baron. So I was testing this theory, whether or not I can get people to watch things about the First World War. It's a period that I really love, but it's not that popular on my channel. I don't think it's that popular on YouTube, unfortunately, but it's still doing pretty well. It's got nearly 3,000 views. It's only been up since about Friday, and it's number 1 of 10. So pretty good. So at this stage, I don't really know what's happened. The only kind of changes I've made back in when I tried to pivot the channel back in December, I actually unlisted all of my previous kind of gaming content. Then I think about 2 months ago or something like that, I just decided to just put it all back to public. I was getting pretty close to being monetized. I thought I could probably use that watch time. I don't know if that's what's tipped it over the scales, but if we take this video here, which is the 6 most daring de Havilland mosquito raids, it was kind of, I mixed a little stories together, and it kind of had pretty steady growth going all the way up to around the first week of August, 13th of August, and then that's just started climbing. But I'm thinking perhaps the video that kind of kicked it off was this one, which is all about Charles Lindbergh, and he basically was a civilian during the Second World War, but he helped the military out. It's a very interesting story, and that just suddenly got a boost around June. And then in the last week, it's just gone crazy. And if I just go through most of my videos, so this video, which is all about Operation Carthage, which again, very interesting story. This has had pretty steady growth since I put it. This is one of the newer videos that I put up before I stopped in March. But this one, all about the man who should have stopped Pearl Harbor. Yeah, just in the last couple of days, it's gone from 100-ish views up to nearly 400 views, and a lot of my videos seem to have a similar spike like this, or one that it looks like it's about to happen. So I'm seeing this trend all across the channel, but not with every video. So there are a few, like this one. I did a series started off in December doing a series all about Victoria Cross winners, particularly aircrew. And I have to admit, I was trying to do a bit of a shortcut. So I started using this program called Descript, which can clone your voice. And I wanted to know how well could it clone my voice. So parts of these videos are me talking just like this, and parts of them are my clone voice. And these weren't as popular. So I'm just wondering if YouTube's going to pick those up at all. It did pick up this one, which is in the same series. That seems to have the same kind of spike that other videos have, as does this one. So I don't know. So basically, I'm not really sure what's happened. I think probably there's been some sort of change to the YouTube algorithm. They've started to give my channel a bit of a chance. Although some of the content, I admit, with the AI generated voice might not be great, even though it's my voice. I think the research is sort of mainly there. It's unique content. I think it's quite interesting content. I think the stories are interesting. I think they've just started to give all my videos a bit of a go. So what I've decided to do is just jump on this channel and go back to producing at least one video every single week. And it's a lot of work, as I said. I've got to do all the research, because one of the problems with this niche in particular is the armchair historian. But actually, I think this is what's helping me out. So I had one particular video, which was this one. So I did a comparison between the Avro Lancaster and the B-17 Flying Fortresses, which are two very famous bombers from World War II. And basically my research perhaps wasn't as well done as it should be, or I didn't know all the facts. So I said a few things in it, which a lot of people said, well, actually, that's not strictly true. But that was great, because it really helped with the comment section. So that video, which I put out in February of this year, it's now coming up to about 5,500 views, and it's got 93 comments on it. And it's a lot of people just having debates. So I'm kind of thinking that might be something that will help out my channel. Even if I don't go very deep with the facts, if I keep it sort of very sort of general, perhaps not, I'm not producing a documentary here. I'm going to have a lot of people that are either correcting me, adding to the facts, adding to the conversation, even if they're the armchair historians that, really, they made me want to quit actually after this video. I felt really, really lousy because I'd spent so much time on the video, and they're just like ripping me a new one. But even that is helpful, because it's just adding to the interaction with the channel. So one of the most exciting things that's been happening with this channel is the prospect of being monetized. Now, I got those 1,000 subscribers very, very early in this channel's history. The first month I had that, and it's not really grown that much since then. In the last year, I've only got about 200 subs in this channel, so it's not growing very quickly. But what was interesting was the watch hours. Now, about a month ago, I was looking at about 1,000, maybe 800 watch hours. So it really jumped when I switched back all those unlisted videos back to public, as you can imagine. Literally the last week, I've been watching the public watch hours at jump. So I went away for the weekend a week ago, and it was about 1,200 watch hours. Yesterday, I was looking at this, and it was at 2,000 watch hours. Today, it's just updated. I'm looking at 3,000 watch hours. So there is a huge possibility by the time that you watch this, or maybe by next week, this channel might be monetized. That is crazy, because I'm working on very, very low RPMs. I'm expecting something like $5. And if I could get the kind of numbers that I think I'm going to get with views, this could be a big earner, even with a terrible RPM. And of course, there's other scope for monetization. I could be looking at Patreon. I could be looking at doing a podcast to go along with this, which could be monetized. I'm looking at maybe just doing merch and things like that. Perhaps I can get sponsorship from, I don't know, museums, or anyone that's in the aviation sort of or history niche. It's really quite exciting. You might not be able to tell that from my voice because I've had 6 hours sleep, but I am excited. So one of the other things I'm planning to do is to go back to the Project 24 YouTube system, and really to go back to the stage of drafting channels and looking at what's working for the competitors and trying to apply this to my own channel. Because there are definitely things like with the production quality of the videos, the research perhaps, as well as the ideas that I could definitely improve. And I haven't really gone through this course in detail, and I think it's actually what's going to help me make the most out of this opportunity. Basically, my hopes for this channel is it's going to keep growing as it's growing in the last couple of weeks. And the more I do this, the quality of my videos is going to improve. I really do like making these kind of videos. I love the editing, I love the research, but hopefully what I can do in the future is to actually outsource some of the work. So really the most time consuming thing about this is not only do I have to research the scripts, but I have to do all the gameplay and then go back and record it again, and then go back and edit the bits and have all these different views. And I'm trying to sort of every 6 seconds to have a different angle of the aircraft or a different thing happening. And it just takes a long time. I'm talking about days to produce one video. But what I could do is, because there's such a strong community with these games, when this channel actually starts making money, I'm hoping that I can say, hey, would any of you like to sort of build this scenario, play the game, send me the tracks, or even find an editor to do all those bits of the work. I know that the guy that I'm trying to sort of emulate, TJ History, he has built up a pretty good community around himself. And what he actually does is he goes and does live streams where he plays the game and he gets his viewers to participate and sort of get his footage that way. So that could be pretty cool. The only problem I have with the live streams, and the reason I don't do live streams on this channel, is living in Taiwan. Most of my audience is on the other side of the world, and it doesn't really sort of I'd have to be up in the middle of the night basically to do that, which if this pays me a full-time income, hey, I can do that. So I actually alluded to this before, that one of the reasons why I stopped producing on this channel was because it was so time consuming with editing. I also said that I was using Descript, which is a great program, but I wasn't actually using it in the right way towards the beginning. I was more using it to test out this idea of the clone voice, and if that was a shortcut. A very lazy idea and probably wasted a bit of time. What I wasn't actually doing was putting the videos into Descript themselves and editing them like this, because it's so much easier to be able to see like the words that you're using. You can see the transcript of what you've said, and now just using this to edit just cuts down the time. So if you're not using Descript for your YouTube videos, go for it. I did have a little bit of an issue a little while ago with very large files, but Descript is always updating, and I think it's improving the software, so it's working really well. The video I'm editing for this video was about 10 gig, and it loaded up really quickly and then transcribed, and I wouldn't be able to make these videos if it wasn't for Descript. It would take too long. So yeah, check out the link in the description if you're interested, and save yourself some time. So really, this channel, Passive Income Phil, it's just really to document what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to react to a bit of good fortune from YouTube. And if you've watched this channel at all, you know that these kind of things don't normally happen to me. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you do in this situation? Why do you think that YouTube have suddenly started showing all the videos? Is there something happening with your channel that's similar to this? Hey, let's try and learn from each other, and let's hope it carries on.